Good. All right, we'll open up players for questions for players.
Thank you. All right. So, Towns, you and Glover both with double-doubles. Just talk about your play today and how you kind of got those double-doubles.
Yeah, I think a big emphasis this week in practice was physicality. We needed to be physical, and we were lacking a little bit the last couple of games, the forwards and the big guys with rebounding. So I think we took it real personal today to make sure we did a good job at it.
You talked physicality. Chicago State playing that very physical full-court pressing most of the game. How do you kind of deal with that
As the game goes on.
Just well-prepared scout. Coach did a great job making sure we're prepared for that, and it'll set us up for a good league play. It'll be very physical in the MAC, so I think it's a good test.
League play, Javon, your first MAC game is coming up here against Ohio in Athens. How do you kind of prepare for that as a team and get ready for that first MAC game?
I'm just excited for it. I think we all know what we do. Just got to come to practice these next 4 days, and bring it, be consistent, and just keep getting better as we head into it.
And going into this game today, 28 shots made, 21 assists as a team. How does that really help get that momentum going into this first MAC game?
Assist gets 2 people involved, makes 2 people happy. So that always helps. And we just did a great job communicating and just finding guys and just really executing our plays and stuff. So that helped us out a ton in moving the ball, and we're just an unselfish team. So.
Either one of you had a height advantage tonight. How did you guys use that to your advantage tonight? Obviously block shots, a lot of stuff like that.
Really just not settling, knowing that we're going to get open looks, but making sure that we're attacking the rim and using our size with things like that. Make sure we have a lot of points in the paint. It was a big emphasis.
Like you said, they kind of took a page out of Utah Valley, tried to pressure you guys. Are you guys figuring out how to deal with that? It looked like there was a little bit of panicking at times.
I wouldn't say panic. It's basketball, so it's a game of runs. You're going to have highs and lows, but I think we did it. We definitely prepared a lot more, and I don't think we should be rattled by a press.
Another game, you guys kind of started out slow from 3. How'd you guys turn it on? Both of you shot 50% from this game, so.
Staying consistent, trusting your shot. I feel like all the guys that shoot threes, they work on it. So just staying consistent and trusting yourself. And also it helps when your teammates are trusting you as well, telling you to shoot the ball.
Yeah, I think the big thing is the teammates. One, people are looking for each other and giving them confidence. But, if you miss a shot, there's always people telling you to keep shooting. So it's really easy to stay confident on a team like this, especially when you're putting the work in behind the scenes.
Sam, it looked like there was a play where you came down awkwardly on your ankle. What happened there?
Oh, yeah. One of those guys definitely landed on my ankle. Might have rolled it or twisted a little bit, but it'd take a lot more than that to get me out the game, for sure.
You were playing, the few plays after that you couldn't tell on your face that it was there, and then you hit a 3, I think it was, and came off there a little bit gingerly on it, limping for just a touch, but then kind of straightened your face and got back to it. How important is that to play through those little hurt or injured moments?
Really important. For one, just not letting the opponent see that you are hurt and let that be something that they can attack. And also just being a leader on the team. And if my guys see that I can play through my injury, if they get hurt, they'll think they got to do the same thing because I'm doing it.
Then, Javon, just talk a little bit about your game today. 15 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, just an all-around game that you had today.
It was one of the most fun games I've been a part of, I've been able to play in. And once again, it really just comes down to my teammates. Half those assists, I didn't even know the guys were open until they called for it. So they really helped me out there. And then the other thing is they kept looking for me. I want to say I got like 4 or 5 wide open threes today. Yeah, 5 or 6, I guess. But it just takes a lot of trust, and they always find me when I'm open. So they make the game easy for me. So I try to do the same.
Any more questions for our players? Great. Thank you, guys. Statement, we can open up for questions.
Yeah, proud of these guys, the consistency of the defensive end. To hold anybody to under 30% is a significant accomplishment. Just not a lot of gaps. It was a very physical game. I thought we did a great job sharing the ball, not turning it over, communicating on the floor. We applied a lot of stuff. We had a very difficult 8 days in between games that we really felt like we could push this team to improve, and our guys answered the bell and applied it to this game, and I was really happy with the effort.
Coach, how did you guys use the height advantage? Obviously, a lot of alley oops, a lot of backdoor cuts, easy. How did you guys? Obviously, it's an old adage that height in basketball is an advantage.
Yeah, and when you're playing teams that are quick and physical, it becomes about execution and executing a back cut. It takes a technique and fundamentals and like Big Troy and some of these lobs that require our guys are they really ran the floor and played with tremendous effort to put themselves in position to get those, and that's half the battle is but also it's the passer. We had we really focused on passing and setting each other up, and I thought they did a really good job, giving guys good lobs and good passes for open looks, and so it's those fundamentals that help that size take advantage of the advantage.
Then you talked a little bit about it. Towns and Glover both with double-doubles. What does it mean to have just outstanding play from the two of them?
Yeah, I think that was the best Troy Glover's played here. We forget that's his 11th Division I game, and he's making strides, and 10 and 4 blocks on 8 shots in 30 minutes, but he just affected so much more. And he ran the floor and he seals around the rim. He's really kind of figuring things out, and he's becoming the player that we know he can be and better. So huge performance, and obviously you can't say enough about Sam. Sam's a leader, and 19 and 11, a block, couple assists, no turnovers. He's kind of a real key piece to this whole thing because of his versatility. So, and every time he shoots the ball, we think it's going in, and he puts the time into it. So that really stretches defenses too.
Javon Ruffin having 15 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Just talk about his all-around game for today.
Yeah, incredible game. 15, 9, 6, 1 turnover, 15 on 9 shots, 50 from 3. He's a spectacular player, and he's doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and he's got a lot of mileage, and we asked him to be in this kind of scoring role. He played on the ball quite a bit at Colorado, and here we said, hey, I want to take advantage of your ability to shoot and score, but he also still has that point guard ability off the balls, and so it allows us to play almost really 3 point guards with that starting lineup, which is really to our advantage.
And then Aiden Goins not seeing the court today. Can you just kind of talk me through what happened?
Yeah, we just went with a couple other guys. It's hard. We got really 5 guys at that position right now. When Sam, we play small, and the Chicago State obviously being a smaller, quicker, up and down team. There's going to be a whole lot of teams in the MAC where we're going to need his size and strength. And today we let Preston and Camden kind of get a few reps but played a decent amount of small when Troy was off the floor.
Turnover differential was close tonight, 10-11. How do you think your guys responded to their full court pressure and then their trapping defense as well?
Yeah, you'll take 10 turnovers all day, especially in a game with as many possessions as we played. I thought that was really, really good. They're really physical on the ball. They're really well coached. That's a very difficult job, and he's doing an unbelievable job. That staff, and we watched 9 of their games, and you see them, battling Minnesota down to the wire, and Illinois, Chicago, and then you beat Loyola Chicago almost wire to wire. This is a very well coached Chicago State team that's going to do some damage in the NEC when they get to kind of play on a level playing field. So hats off to them, and I was really impressed by how hard they play.
And then you kind of mentioned it earlier, held them to 29% shooting. Anything going into the game that you made sure to emphasize, or anything you noticed after the game that really stood out to you about your guys' defense?
We knew that they're a physical driving team. This isn't a team that relies on the 3 a lot. They drive and they drive and they drive, and it's physical, and they get into your body, and that's they do it at a lot of positions. So our guys were a unit where they kind of shrunk gaps, and they made it really difficult to find driving lanes and try to win a lot of one-on-one battles.
And then obviously MAC play coming up Saturday versus Ohio. any things you saw that were really good that you want to continue, or kind of some negatives that you hope to improve on within the next couple of days?
Yeah, well, I mean, defense travels. You know, we the blueprint that we put this team together. I mean, you know, we know how physical the MAC is. The MAC is unlike any other mid-major league. It's probably the most physical mid-major league, you know, so we had to build a team that was predicated on defense. And right now we're doing a heck of a job across the board in most of our defensive categories and things that we value. We got to foul a little bit less, but and we got, you know, I'd like to, you know, today wasn't a great rebounding day for us, but overall we've been really good in that area. And so we you know, we got to continue to pick it up, but defense will travel for us.
Hey, Coach, reflecting back to, you know, comparing this game to Utah Valley, right? Utah Valley comes in, they shoot the three. That's very clearly what they're going to do. They get out to a bit of a lead, and it felt like you guys, you know, tried to push the threes and kind of make that your identity. We talked about that during that game. It seemed like today, though, you guys came in and had a very solid focus on we're going to be physical, we're going to get close to the basket, and we're going to make it. We're going to take advantage of fast breaks. Was that something that you guys made a change after that game, or was that just this has been our identity all along? We got away from it 1 week, we're going back to it.
Yeah, we just didn't get enough stops, you know. And UVU is very talented. That, you know, I think they're top 60, you know, net ranked team right now. We're not alone in their success, but we didn't get enough stops in that game. And when we can't get stops, we couldn't get out in the break. When you can't get on the break, we couldn't get enough easy, you know, paint touches and that sort of thing. So in this game, we said, hey, we got to double down on the defensive end. That's going to trigger our offense as opposed to playing against a set defense, which we were for most of that UVU game. And when defenses get set and they pack it in like they were, it makes it really difficult. Whereas in this game, we did a pretty good job not allowing Chicago State just to get set in their half court defense. And then when they did, we just spread it out. And we said, hey, we're going to simplify things a little bit, and we're going to give guys space and let them attack. So, and then our guard play really took over from there.
18 turnovers against William and Mary, then 21 against Utah Valley. Now, I believe 10 tonight. How incredibly awesome for you is it to see that number going down, particularly before the start of MAC play?
Yeah, especially against a physical team. It's showing the growth and it's just really applying the fundamentals. You know, we had really 8 days and we had some really, really physical practices. I mean, we really got after it and said, hey, let's see how far we can push this thing. And our guys, we're not afraid to get after it and do that and compete. And I think that's where we're seeing a little bit of the results of taking care of the ball with physicality.
When I'm not sure how much you saw of Sam's ankle discomfort, but to know that there were moments in that game where he was really in pain. I mean, I'm not a body language expert, but you can tell that he was feeling it. What does it say to you to see and to know that one of your key players is fighting through it because he knows his team needs him?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough. I mean, Sam, obviously the last 2 seasons being kind of taken from him, he's going to do everything in his power to stay on that court. And you know, when he says he's good, you know, we're going to protect him. But I've seen Sam. You know, his style of play, he plays with some recklessness and throws his body around a little bit. So he gets banged up here and there. But as soon as that next 3 went in, I think it felt a little better.
Preston Squire, seeing first minutes of the season, anything you saw from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's so great to have him back. You know, he's had a tough go, but he injures his back last fall, kind of cost his season last year, and when he had a great offseason, and then comes back, he gets a thumb injury in the fall this year, and so finally he's back to where we think he is, and he's going to be a heck of a weapon for us. I mean, he's another guy that can shoot 40 to 50 from 3, and 6'11", gives you a lot of length around the rim. So, you know, it'll take a minute to get those game reps and timing and conditioning down, but we think him, Camden, Aiden, we've got a whole group of guys that can really help us across the board. Thank you. Have a very good evening.